Welcome back to our top 5 games from 2009. Hopefully, you've already watched numbers 10 through 6 over on the Dice Tower on Friday, and you followed the link in the description that's in that video, and you found this video right here on the Flipside. Welcome to the Flipside. I'm Sam.
I'm JT.
And we're going to be doing, as I already said, and I'll just be verbose and say it again, our top 5 games from 2009. As we said in the other video, this was a
tough year.
Tough year. I only got 11 games out of 1,000 titles that I felt like I could put on a top 10. And you were like, you said 16?
No, that was last week. This one I didn't even. I hit 10 and I said that's good enough. I'm not even joking. I was like, I don't want to keep reading.
Wow, there was a game on your list that I had never heard of before. So you must have went deeper.
Go back and check it.
No, I'm going to go back and check. I'm going to find it now.
Good.
But this is it. Our top 5 2009 games. Let's get to it. All right, my number 5 is a game that was produced by Plaid Hat Games, designed by Colby Dauch, or Dauch, Colby Dauch.
I don't know.
D-A-U-C-H. I don't know how you pronounce his last name.
Maybe it's Doc.
Colby
Maybe.
Dauch?
I don't know.
Anyway, Summoner Wars. Summoner Wars is my number 5. This is a really cool game that kind of mimics a tabletop miniature game in that your opponent is going to have their own faction, and their faction is built up of cards in a deck, and each of those cards are different units within their army. You're going to have the same thing on your side, and you have this square grid of a battlefield, and you're going to be moving your units around on that board, trying to knock out other units, sometimes score different kinds of objectives and that kind of thing. And your faction basically has its own special kind of flavor, kind of ability, and so you feel completely different than the other person. It's not like you have 2 vanilla armies going against each other.
You say this is kind of like Risk without the cool castle piece. I mean, not Risk, Stratego without the cool castle pieces.
Oh, man.
I'm just joking.
Everybody says that about Summoner Wars. No, because
somebody says that about Summoner Wars?
None of the units are hidden. You know what they are. So, yeah. No, I get that vibe. It does give off that vibe because you're just moving these cards around on the table. But and normally I would not be down for something like that. But when Summoner Wars came out, the first time I played it was at an Origins, and I just really, really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it a lot.
People really love this game. If they love it, they have everything. And
yeah. Well, I've got the core. I've got the Master set, and I've got the Alliance Master set as well. So there are plenty of factions in those 2 boxes. Yeah. So I won't be buying anything else. But I really enjoy this game. That's my number 5, Summoner Wars.
Nice. My number 5, I only played once, and I played it a long time ago, but I thought it was really cool. It's kind of another one, like, I don't remember what that one is on the last video, but and this game is called Stronghold from Portal Games. Stronghold is a really neat tower defense, castle defense game. One of you is inside the castle trying to protect it for as many rounds as you can, and the other one's lining up your armies on the outside and sieging this castle. It's all action selection, all action.
I think Stronghold Games picked it up for U.S. distribution, which I thought was funny because Stronghold Games picked up Stronghold. Yeah.
But yeah, just a very nice. Easy to play, not easy to play. I mean, it's deep enough. Obviously, there's a ton of strategy going on for either side of it, but it's just well laid out. The castle looks beautiful. You know, you got your troops, which are a lot of cubes, scattered all around, trying to protect yourself.
I can't remember. How many players does this hold?
It's 2.
It's just 2. One player takes
you
the
can
stronghold,
play teams, I think,
and the other one is the one attacking.
Yep.
Okay, that's what I thought. So it's like a tower defense game, but one person takes the tower.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really your points are how long you can hold out.
Yeah.
You get points for holding out, and they get points for getting in, and
yeah. That's cool.
That's what ends the game too.
Yeah,
so.
I remember. Yeah, the Portal game usually knocks it out of the park with almost everything that they do in one way, shape, or form. It might not be for everybody, but usually Portal games comes out with good stuff.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things that I thought was cool about this game. I did play it, I think, maybe once. But again, I didn't remember enough about it in order to include it. But it's a good game, good pick. All right, my number 4 has a new version coming out this year. And it was on my 2024 most anticipated games coming out this year. This version is from Matago, and it's called Slicklidies.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Alhambra.
Nope.
No. Because a new version of that coming out. Maybe it just came out.
Slicklidies has a new, like, super deluxe version coming out this year, and I am crossing my fingers that I'll be able to get a hold of it. I don't know that I'm going to be able to because I think the Kickstarter has already run. And I don't know that the late pledge is still open, so I might be out of luck. But anyway, I'm hoping
pledges stay open so long now. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's true. I'll just have to double check. But anyway, Bruno Cathala and Ludovic Mablanc are a couple of the OG really good designers that are out there, and they did a super good job with this one. I was never really good at the game, but I enjoyed it every single time. I just love the epic feel, the Greek epic feel of it, and just enjoyed it. I can't say enough about it. It's I hope.
You have the original, right?
No, I don't.
Oh, I thought
That's
you did.
why I wanted to get the new deluxe version because I don't own the old one. So that's my number 4 though. Cyclades from Matago, Bruno Cathala, Ludovic Mablanc.
All right, I look forward to playing your new copy. So there.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
Sweet. All right, my number 4 is, for all intents and purposes, a cheat, but everybody knows I like to cheat, at least on my lists.
Wow, that's weird because when I was with the Dice Tower, that was my thing.
And yeah,
I would come up with the weird picks.
For that, I never cheat in board games. I hate cheating in board games.
I don't cheat in board games either.
I didn't say you did.
It was putting lists together when I cheated.
All right, but my cheat is an expansion for a game that made some significant changes that is worthy of putting on this list, and that is Pandemic on the Brink. Pandemic on the Brink brought in mutations. It's a cheat. I told you.
He loves Pandemic. That's why he did it.
But it brought in some awesome stuff. It brought in the purple cubes. It brought in a 5th virus. It brought in mutations for the original viruses to where they could be completely different and nasty. And it also brought in a whole entire new game mode that I don't think in any other Pandemic has ever existed, and that is it's not the trader mode. Now I can't think of it. The bioterrorist mode. Yeah, where it's one versus all. Yeah. And that in itself is crazy. But a whole new way to play the game.
Yep.
So that's kind of why I put it on here. But
I get it. Okay, see what I do when I put together my lists, I use the Geek and I do an advanced search, the year to the year, and then I click that box that says
no,
do not include expansions.
All right.
That's what I do. But this is true. On the Brink kind of took Pandemic and said, ha, you thought you knew this game. Now you don't. Have fun.
Yep.
So I agree. It is a cheat, but I'll allow it. That's a good one.
You can't take it back, so thanks for allowing it. All right.
All right, my number 3 is the reason I slow clapped on the last one, and that is Jaipur. Jaipur, this one, and specifically the one, and I have to say specifically because the Space Cowboys one is the newest version of the game. The original version of the game was ugly.
Oh, copy.
But the box that comes up when you go to the 2009 entry is the new Space Cowboys box, and it's got Vincent Dutrait's artwork on it. The old box didn't, and it was uglier. Space Cowboys said, we need to make this game look better because it's a good game. We need to make it look better so that other people enjoy it.
Nice.
So that's the one that I bought. I actually picked this one up in Calgary. table at Calgary Tabletop Day, and my wife and I love it.
You picked up a copy of Jaipur?
Yep, I did. I did. We actually took it to game night. It's still in a bag right now. That's why you can't see it. Nice. But yeah, we really enjoy this game. It's very fun. Everything that we talked about on the last one, as far as the tension that's there between the open draft and when to score your cards, holding out, scoring your cards now, and taking less of those scoring tiles. Maybe hoping that a couple more cards or that last card that you need to really pick up a stack of scoring tiles at the same time. That's really the tension that's there, and it's a great game. And the Vintage Trade artwork version is my best because that's my favorite artist. So if a game looks good, it's just more fun to play.
Absolutely.
And I think that's how it is with this game. Jaipur was just one of those games that kind of went under my radar because I thought it was an ugly game. This one just looks better, so I picked it up.
That's the same reason I hate Kickstarter. Or my wallet hates Kickstarter.
This game looks so good!
Yeah.
Yep, understood. So that's my number 3, Jaipur.
All right. My number 3, I would call a kid's game, or at least a younger person's game, but it's still a lot of fun.
Better not be one of my top 2.
And it's great to play with just about anybody. And I think they came out with a $200 special version not too long ago. I don't know if it was $200, but it's called Castle Panic.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Castle Panic's just a fun little game. You're in the middle of the board. You got all these critters coming from all different directions attacking you, or critters, orcs and goblins and things like that.
Critters.
Coming from all different directions to attack you, and you're playing cards to attack them back, and you're all kind of working together to beat back the horde. And it's just a good fun time. Must be the year of the tower defense.
I've never played this game.
Really?
Yeah, and there's no good reason why. Because it's got great production quality, and it looks like it's a fun tower defense.
Yeah, it's fun
game, and I've just never played it. I don't know why.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
It happens. You can't play them all.
No, you certainly cannot. Good night.
Cannot. My number 3, Castle Panic.
Good pick. My number 2, another game by Matago, another game designed by Bruno Cathala and Ludovic Mauvelon. The second game, and it's nowhere, not even in the same grouping as Cyclades was. This one's called Dice Town.
Oh, you've talked about this one before.
Yeah, Dice Town is a really fun game where you have a cup full of dice, and you're simply going to be, it's a loud game. You're going to be rolling those dice in the cup on the table, and then you're secretly trying to build different kinds of poker hands. And the reason you're trying to build different kinds of poker hands is because you're going to be visiting different parts in the town, different places in the town, different shops in the town that do different things, and they're all asking for different kinds of dice faces, basically. So you are going to be doing that. And then it has that Yahtzee mechanic where you can keep some of them and then roll and keep and once everybody's done rolling, then you reveal, see who has this one's wanting the most of this. And so who got that? Well, you did. Okay, so you get that reward. And then you go all the way down the list. And then at the end, there's the place where whoever got the best hand gets to do something cool. So there's that. There's multiple ways to get points throughout the game. It's a really fun time. It's got beautiful artwork by Piero Lalune, who is my second favorite board game artist. And
learn something new every day.
And he's super good too, man. He's super good too. I don't know what it is. It's just there's styles. Both Vincent's and Piero's styles are kind of similar, and that's why I like both of them so much. Gotcha. But they're all so very different at the same time. So it's
you say that just about anything.
Yeah, I know.
It's like Stefan Feld and Bruno Cathala. They're pretty much the same.
But Dice Town is a really fun one. Have you not played this?
No, I haven't played it.
Yeah, we got to play it. Man, there's so many things we got to play.
I know.
But Dice Town, that's my number 2. Great game.
That's the one thing Matt's ruined in the games is all of us slamming down our cups on a wood table.
That's right.
Now you got this soft mat.
Or one of those plastic Costco tables.
Yep. And the legs collapse. Yep, that's a good pick. That was your number 2.
Yes, sir.
All right, my number 2. Spoiler alert for the last video, which you've already watched, so it's not a spoiler at all. Is a party game called Telestrations.
Yay!
I really like Telestrations. Telestrations is super fun. You draw on a sheet of paper whatever your card says, and you hand it to the next person. They guess it. They write it down. And they hand it to the next person. They draw what they wrote down, and pretty soon your Industrial Revolution turned into fruits
Coconuts.
and vegetables or something. Yeah, you never know. So it's like playing telephone the game, except for everybody's playing at the same time. So when you're done, everybody has a story to tell of what happened on their
grapevine or telephone or whatever it is. Yeah,
telephone or whatever.
That's exactly what it is.
No, but it's just super fun.
Yeah,
and ridiculous to play with just about anybody.
And really, the fun, the for me, and I said this in the last video, the fun part for me is when everybody gets their book back. They have to go through and say what it was first.
Yep.
And then they kind of do like a show and tell or at least this is how we do it. I don't know if it's...
Yeah, that's how we do it too.
You show this is what I had, this is what I drew, this is what they got from that, and you go through and you can watch how it turned from the Industrial Revolution into coconuts or bananas or whatever.
I drew 3 skyscrapers in the sun, and the next person wrote down bread, and then it went from there. So who knows?
Exactly. But it's always a raucous, loud, fun time, and so great pick. That's good. Number one. This is, I think, the second time in the last 3 weeks that this has been my number 1 game.
What? The second time in the last 3 weeks. Been your number 1 game.
Yep. Now you got to think about what were the 3
lists. Well, I thought this was going to be a crossover, but
Small World is my number 1
because it has one dragon.
Well, that's why it was in the dragon list.
I remember that was your number 1 back then.
I think so.
Man, you silly boy.
I think it was because there are not a whole lot of games that just have dragons in them.
No, there's not.
But. My number 1, Days of Wonder, Philip K. Art's Small World, and it is just a fun game. And I love it when games give you the ability of having your faction of people different from everybody else's. And this game ups the ante on that because not only can you do that once for the entire game, you can change your faction multiple times throughout the course of the game. So you actually get to play 3 different... Up to 3 usually is what I've usually maxed out at. Different factions throughout the course of the game that are not like anybody else out in the game, and I really enjoy that about the game. On top of that, it's just a simple esque area control game. You don't have to roll a whole lot of dice. You get to roll a reinforcement die maybe on your turn, but that's it. But other than that, it's just putting tiles out and formulating positioning your forces to the best of your ability and scoring points, and it's just fun. Really enjoy it. That's my number 1, Small World.
My number 1 is a game called Small World.
I knew it!
Had to be number 1 for this
I knew it!
Like, there's just nothing like Small World.
Yeah.
And just the fact that you have a stack of all of the different special abilities that's this tall and a stack of races that's this tall, and they're all randomized. So the fact that you played, fortified orcs this time, you may never, ever find fortified orcs again in your entire
playing of the game. Period.
So it's always different. It's always bad when you get angelic something that you really want. Angelic skeletons or something. I don't know. They're not as fun as whatever harmonic. Pacifist skeletons or something that never works. And then it has that cool. What do you call it? Where you have the 5. It's not a drafting mechanism, but you have to pay up if you want to get something that's farther down the line. Well, so you can actually get something with already coins on it, which are points and everything else. So
yeah, I think it is an open drafting system, but I don't think what you're specifically talking about is that you have to pay.
There's a word for it.
Yeah, there is a word for it, but it's a kind of open draft because you can take any of them, but the first one is free. Yeah. The second one you have to pay a coin on the first one. The third one, you have to pay a coin on the first and the second,
Yep.
and it goes all the way up to 5. So you can always take any of them.
Mm-hmm.
You'll just have to pay more for the ones that are further down the pot.
Sometimes that first one looks pretty good with 4 coins on it.
Yeah, it does. Man, it does.
Yeah.
Because that's 4 points, man.
Yeah.
And that's the cool thing about it. All right, that's a good pick.
Crossed over twice.
We crossed over exactly on number 8 and number 1, and we also had a third crossover with Jaipur
We did.
as
We had
well.
a 4th crossover with Telestrations.
Oh, yeah, 4 crossovers.
That's more than any other
in
list that
20
we've
games.
ever done in our entire life.
Wow.
That includes the top 100. I don't think we had 4 crossovers. No.
Yes, we
Yes, we did.
Wow, that's pretty cool, though. All right, well, I guess, for our cream of the crop, I guess that's a pretty good pot, There's, at the very least, see, if we had 4 crossovers, that means that there are 16 games here.
Yeah.
16 games that you should go check out if you haven't heard any of them from the year 2009. So, again, if you haven't checked it out yet, go check out our bottom 5, which is just numbers 10 through 6 on the Dice Tower. You can check that out. There is going to be a link in the description of this video that will take you back to that one that was posted on Friday. So you can do that or the other way around. So thanks for joining us. We certainly appreciate it. We will see you guys and gals on the flip side. Take care.
See you later.